Hello everyone, and this is your Year 7 Maths exam. Now, what I need you to do is to go through your paper, and I need you to redo the questions that you got wrong in your test, and really try and take in what it is I'm saying as I explain how to do the questions properly. Okay, you don't need to bother redoing the questions that you have got correct, but just the ones that you've made mistakes on. Okay, so this one, for 1A, we're going to run to the nearest hundred. So if you think about the hundreds column, that's that one there. So is it going to be close to 300 or 400? And if we have a look at the next number here, that's 7. So that's going to be close to 400. So we write the answer 7,400. Now the next one, we've got 6,000. If we just say this out loud, it's 6,402. That's what we write down. We write down 6,402. Don't worry if you haven't drawn the commas or written the commas. And 2. Now the next one we're multiplying by 1,000. So if you multiply by 10, everything will move over one place to the left, so that'd be 540. But because we're multiplying by 1,000, which has got 3 zeros, everything's going to move over 3 spaces. So if you imagine the decimal points, then we've got different places here. So 54. The 5, because we've got 3 zeros, is going to move over 3 spaces. That's going to go there. The 4 is going to move over 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to go there. Then you're going to have 3 spaces which we fill up with zeros. Alternatively, when you multiply with zeros on the end, you just stick those zeros on the end of the number. So that's going to be 54 and then 3 zeros. The next thing we do is we find a quarter of 28. So a quarter of 28, what we do is whatever the fraction is, whatever's on the bottom, that's what we divide by. So it's going to be 28 divided by 4, and 4 goes into 28 7 times. So a quarter of 28 is going to be 7 kilograms. Now the next one is 9 plus 12 divided by 3. Now when we do this, we always do, if we think about BIDMAS, when we do BIDMAS, it's kind of in 4 chunks here. So if there's any brackets, we do those first. If there's no brackets. If there's any indices, which is the I, that means powers. There's no powers there. Now the next 2 we take as one thing. Is there any division or multiplication? And we do those bits first. So there is a division, which is 12 divided by 3. So if we do that, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So it's going to be 9 plus 4. And then if there's any additional subtraction, we do that next, after we've done all the division and the multiplication. So 9 plus 4 equals 13. Okay, next question. And was this a calculated paper? Calculator's not allowed. So this is a non-calculated one. So we've got 3 tins of peaches at 37 pence each. So 37 plus 37 plus 37. If we add up the 7s, 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 21. So it's going to be 1. Carry the 2. Then we've got 369 plus this 2 here is going to be 11. So it's going to be £1 11. And then we've got to work out how much the salmon costs. So we know that all adds up to £10.98. So if we add up the rest of this bit here, so we've got £1.69, we've got 98 pence, we've got £1.11, and we've got £4.52. So if we add that up, that's going to be 20, so carry the 2. Then you got 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 5 is 21, plus these 2 is 23, so it's going to be 3, carry the 2. Now we keep the decimal point in the same place. So 2, 6, 7, 8. So the bill so far adds up to £8.30. So £8.30 plus our value here makes £10.98. So we've got to see how much we add on to £8.30 to get to £10.98. So we can do it one of 2 ways. We can do £10.98 take away £8.30. If we do that, 8 take away 0 is 8, 9 take away 3 is 6, and 10 take away 8 is 2, or 0 take away 8 we can't do, so we bring the 1 over to make it 10. 10 take away 8 is 2, so it's going to be £2.68. Or we see what we need to add on to £8.30 to get to £10.98, and if we do that, we add on 70p to get up to £9. We then add on another pound to get up to £10. That's going to be another pound. Then we add on another 98 pence. If we add together 70 pence, £1 and 98 pence, we get £2.68. Pat wants to buy a book. The book costs £5.50. Pat has a voucher for £1.70. She also has £3 and 3.20 pence coins. She wants to buy the book with a voucher and the coins. Is this enough for Pat to buy the book? So, let's see. So we've got the £1.70 for the voucher. We've got £3 coins, which is going to be £3. And we've got 3 20p coins, which is going to be 60 pence. We then add all that together, so that's 0. 7 plus 6 is 13, so that's 3, carry the 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, £5.30. No. So we say no. She's 20p short. Okay, question 3. Work out a positive 8 minus 6. So with all these, and it doesn't matter whether in year 7, year 13, or whether you're a maths teacher, I always think about this in the same way. So I always think about a number line where you got like plus 100 up here, and you got like minus 1000 down here. And we start off at plus 8. So this is the first number. So we've got plus 8 there. And then we're going to take away 6. So we're going to go down by 6, which makes us go to 2. Remember, when we add a number, we go up the number line. When we take away a number, we go down the number line. So we've got minus 5, and then we're going to take away 4. So we're going to go down by 4. So that's going to take us down to minus 9. Okay, and then this one here, we've got minus 12 divided by 4. Now, first of all, we're just going to do 12 divided by 4, which gives us 3. Now, if both numbers, when we're dividing or multiplying, if both numbers are negative, it's going to be a positive answer. If both numbers are positive, it's going to be a positive answer. If one of them is positive and one of them is negative, then it's going to be a minus answer. So if it was minus 12 divided by 4, that's going to be minus 3. If it was 12 divided by minus 4, again, see, this is a positive number, this is a negative number. And so we've got a negative number divided by a positive number, so our answer, because the signs are different there, the answer is going to be minus. It's going to be minus 3. Question 4. Factorize. Now, factorize means put into brackets. So, in fact, let's put the brackets on the answer line. Now we've got to find a number that goes into 3 and also into 6, so we take 3 outside. So 3 lots of this makes 3x. So 3 lots of x is 3x. Now 3 lots of the next thing makes 6. So that's going to be 2. There's a plus sign in between it. So it's going to be 3x plus 2. Next question is the opposite of that. So we're going to expand. So we're going to do 5 lots of y, 5 lots of 2. So it's going to be 5y. And again, there's a minus sign there. So take away 10. Then we're going to do the same for the next bracket. So it's going to be plus 2y. 2 lots of 3 is 6, and there's a minus sign there. So that's our expand. That's 1 mark. Even if we get one of these bits wrong, we've got 4 things here. Even if we get one of them wrong, we've still got a mark. But the second mark is for correctly gathering them together. So we've got 5y, then we get the sign, plus 2y. So 5y plus 2y, and that makes 7y. Then we've got minus 6, so minus 10, take away 6. Now again, think about 0. Minus 10 is here, then we're going to take away 6, so we're going to go down, so that's going to be minus 16. Next, we got 4x equals 20. So if 4x is a 20, 1x is going to be 5, because we just divide by 4. Okay, then we've got y plus 5 equals 12. Now with algebra, to get y by itself, we've got to get rid of this plus 5. Now the way we get rid of plus 5 is we do the opposite to the other side. So 12 take away 5 is going to be 7. Now there are some other things that can help you out with this as well. Once you've got your answer, put it back in, see if it works. So let's say I did it wrong and I got 17. Now I'm going to check, see if 17 is correct. So 17 plus 5 doesn't equal 12, so 17 can't be right. If I do 7 though, 7 plus 5 does equal 12. So that's right. Similarly with the 5 here. Let's say I've got 80. So I've done it wrong, got 80. 4 lots of 80 doesn't equal 20, but 4 lots of 5 does equal 20. Okay, some more algebra. This is getting a little bit trickier now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 5x, and then we're going to add another x. So 5x's plus another x, that's going to be 6x. Notice how I take into account the signs in front of it as well. So we've now got 4y, and we've got a minus 7y. So again, 0 here. We've got 4y, which is here, then we're going to take away 7 of them. So that's going to go down to minus 3y. Okay, question 6. The easiest way to do this one is to multiply out the brackets. So we're going to do 7 lots of x, 7 lots of 2. So 7x plus 14 equals 7, just like we've done beforehand. Now, we want to get the x by itself, so we've got to get rid of this plus 14. Now, this is where it's easy to make a mistake. To get rid of the plus 14, we do the opposite to the other side. So I'm going to do 7 take away 14. Again, think about where 7 is. 7 is there, and we're going to take away 14. So that's going to be minus 7. So if 7x and minus 7, x equals minus 7 divided by 7. Now think about what we said earlier. We've got, so we're going to do 7 divided by 7, which is going to be 1. But we've got a negative number divided by a positive number. So if the signs are different, one of them's negative, one of them's positive, the answer is going to be negative. So the answer is going to be minus 1. Now, the next question, there is a slightly easier way to do this one, but I'm not going to do that. It doesn't say in which way it's got to be done. I'm going to go with the standard method that we know works. So it's going to be the TP method. And this is in one of the other videos as well. So 9, we do the cross multiplying. So 9 lots of 1 and 9 lots of 3. So 9 lots of 1 is 9. 9 lots of 3 is 27. Then we're going to do it with 3. So 3 lots of 5 and 3 lots of 9. So 3 lots of 5 is 15. And then 3 lots of 9 is 27. And then we've got a plus sign in between. And now, the reason that we do that is because we need to have a common denominator. We need to have the same number on the bottom. But the thing to remember about this one, we always start with this number here. So 9 times by the 1 is 9, 9 times by the 3 is 27. And then we move on to this one. 3 times by the 5 is 15, 3 times by the 9 is 27. And then we just add the top numbers. So 9 plus 15 is going to be 24. And the bottom number stays the same. So it's 24 over 27, and that gets you the mark. If you wanted to, you could divide through by 3, you could cancel out. So divide the top by 3, and you get 8. Divide the bottom by 3, and you get 9. So 8/9 is also the correct answer, but you can have either answer. I don't mind which, because it doesn't say write it as simply as possible. If it said write it as simply as possible, you need to go with the 8/9. Okay, question 8. There are 120 people at a party. A third of them leave the party. Work out the number that still leave. So let's work out the number of people that actually left. To find a third of something, we divide by 3. So 120 divided by 3 equals 40. So a third of them is 40. So 40 people left. So 120 take away those 40 equals 80. There are 80 people still at the party. Okay, continuing with the fractions theme. We're going to do 1/7 times 2/3. Now, multiplying fractions is the easiest thing. So 1/7 times by 2/3. And you can tell that it's easy because it's only worth 1 mark. So all we do is we times the top. So 1 times 2 is 2. Then we times the bottom. 7 times 3 is 21. So it's going to be 2 over 21. Next one. 3 over 5 minus 1 over 3. Now again, what we do is do exactly the same as beforehand. We do that TP method. So it's going to be 3, because we always start with this one, remember? 3 times 3, 3 times 5. So that's going to be 9 over 15. Then move on to the 5. 1, so 5 times 1 is going to be 5. 5 times 3 is 15. There's a minus sign in between it. So 9/15 take away 5/15, which equals 4/15. Next question. Write these numbers in order of size. Now what I'd do for this one, and to save confusion, is I'd write them all with the same number of decimal places. So this has got 3, this has got 3. These two have only got 2. So if you stick a 0 on the end of decimals, it doesn't change them at all. So we've got 0.401, 0.460, 0.370, 0.439. And when they're all the same number of decimal places, it's easy to see which is the biggest and smallest. So 0.370, or 0.37 was the smallest, because the first decimal place was in the 3s, and the rest of them in the 4s. So if all of them are in the 4s, let's have a look at the second decimal place. This one's 0, this one's 6, this one's 3. So 0.401 is the next smallest. Then continue with the second decimal place. This one is 3, this one is 6. So it's going to be 0.439 and 0.46. And there you go. Then they're written in order. Now, write these numbers in order of size. Now, this is quite a tricky one to do, especially if you don't have a calculator. So, we need to know that 75% is 3 over 4. Then we've got 7 over 8. Now, 0.25 is a quarter. 2/3. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try and find a number that all of them go into. And all of these bottom numbers go into 24. So what we're going to do, this is a trickier question. This is aimed at the students that are looking at grade 4 and grade 5 at the moment. So we need to make the denominators up to 24. So I need to make this one 6 times bigger. So that's going to be 18 over 24. To make this one 24, I need to make it 3 times bigger. So it's going to be 21 over 24. I need to make this one 6 times bigger again. So that's going to be 6 over 24. I need to make this one 12 times bigger. So that's going to be 12 over 24. I need to make this 8 times bigger. So that's going to be 16 over 24. Okay, so then you've just got to write them in order. So the smallest one we can see is this one, then this one, this one, this one, then this one. So the first one was 0. Oh, let's try that again. 0.25 was the smallest. And then we've got a half, which is the next. Then there was 2/3. Then we had 75% as the next one. And that's how we're putting them back into the original form. Then 7/8 as the last one. So that's writing them in order from smallest to largest. Okay, now the next thing, these are just things that you're going to need to know. So a quarter is 0.25. Now 0.8 is a percentage. We usually write it as 2 decimal places. So if we write that as 0.80, and then this is going to be the tens, and that's going to be the units. So that's going to be 80%. So whenever we've got decimal, we have a look at the first decimal place, and that's going to be the tens. The second decimal place is the units. If we had like 0.041, that's going to be the tens, that's going to be the units, so that's going to be 4.1%. So that's how that works. Simplifying ratios, we find a number that goes into 2 and also into 6. That's going to be 2, so we divide them both by 2. That's going to be 1 to 3. Okay, question 12. Ali, Ben and Candice, notice that it's A, B and C. They do that a lot. Share £300 in the ratio 2 to 3 to 5. Now what we do with the ratios is we've got to add all the ratios together. So 2 parts plus 3 parts plus 5 parts, that equals 10 parts. So we say that 10 parts equals the total amount. So 10 parts equals 300. So if 10 parts are 300, we need to find out what one part is. And we do that by dividing by 10. So one part equals 30. And then we've got to find how much Candice gets. Now, Candice gets 5 parts. So if one part is 30, 5 parts are going to be 5 lots of that, which is going to be 150. Question 13. So this is a probability. So it's looking for keywords in exams. So that's what's going to help you out. So if you have a look and you see the word probability, and we've got a probability table, we need to know that all of these have to add up to 1. So 0.15, 0.41, and 0.24. That adds up to 5 plus 1 plus 4 is 10. 1, 5, 6, 7 plus that one is 8. So 0.80. So what do we need to add on to 0.80 to get up to a whole one? That's going to be 0.80, of course, is 0.8. So we need to add on 0.2. The next one, this question comes up all the time in the GCSE exam, so it's going to be useful if by now you sort of get it nailed by year 7, year 8. Now they give you a probability table and then they give you a big number. So the event's going to happen 50 times. So what we do is to get our to get our markings, we do 50 times by the corresponding probability. So yellow is 0.24. So 50 times by 0.24. Now, if you've got a calculator, dead easy. If you haven't got a calculator, we've got to learn how to do this. So 0.24, there's a few ways of doing it. 0.24 is 24%. So we want 24% of 50. So 10% of 50 equals 5. 1%, if we divide that by 10 again, is 0.5. So 20% equals 10. If 1% is 0.5, 2% equals 1. Double that, you get 4%, so that's going to be 2. So 4% is 2, 20% is 10. If we add those together, we're going to get 12. Alternatively, we can do 50 times 24 and then stick in 2 decimal places. Either way, we still get the same answer of 12. Okay, next question. Now you see that some of these questions are trickier, some of these questions are easier. Angela spins a spinner once and it's got the numbers 1, 2, and 3 on it. Choose a word that best describes the probability that she'll get number 4. Well, she can't get number 4 because there's no number 4 on there. So if you have a look through this, it's going to be impossible. Choose a word that best describes the probability that the number will land on a number less than 4. If you've got 3 numbers here, they're all less than 4. So whatever it lands on, it's going to be less than 4. So it's going to be certain. Okay, Steve also has a 3-sided spinner. The sides of Steve's spinner, nice alliteration, are lettered A, B, and C. Angela spins her spinner once, then Steve spins his spinner once. There's all the possible outcomes. So we could get an A on the first spin and an A on the second spin, or an A and then a B, or an A then a C. So there's no, let's say that Angela is the first one in the list here, and Steve is this one here. There's no other options if Angela spins an A that Steve can spin. So what about if Angela spins a B? Well, Steve can get an A, or he could get a B, or he could get a C. Let's say that Angela then spins a C. Steve could spin an A, B, or a C. And that's it. You've got 9 different outcomes. And that's how you do these outcome questions. Next one. The key thing that we need to know about this one is that if we've got a straight line here, angles on a straight line have to add up to 180. So 80, if we add up the angles that we've got so far, 80 plus 70 is 150. What do we need to add on to 150 to get to 180? So 180, take away 150. 0 take away 0, 0. 8 take away 5 is 3. 1 take away 1 is 0. So we just got 30. So we've got 30 degrees. Okay. Again, it's another piece of knowledge that we need to have for this one. In fact, if we learn something slightly different here, let's have a look at triangles. We need to know that angles in a triangle always add up to 180. So here we've got a four-sided shape. So we need to know what angles in a four-sided shape add up to. And the way we do that is we just take 1 point. This could work if it was a 5, 6, 7-sided shape. So we show you for the 6-sided shape in a second. So we've got a four-sided shape, and we just colour in one of the corners, which we call a vertex. So colour in one of the vertices, then we join this vertex to every other vertex around the shape. That line's already done. This line, and then this line's already done. So what we've done is we've actually split our four-sided shape into two triangles. Now each triangle is 180, so that means all these angles have to add up to 360 degrees. We'll get back to this question in a second, but let's say we've got a six-sided shape, and we've got to work out what all these add up to. Again, what we do is we just choose one corner. Doesn't matter which corner we choose, and then we join it to every other corner. So that one's already done. Join it to this one, to this one, to this one, and this one down here is already done. Now what we've done on that six-sided shape is we've broken it down to triangles, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different triangles. So that's going to be 4 lots of 180. So going back to this question here, we've got 2 lots of 180. So 180 plus 180 adds up to 360 degrees. So we need to know, or we need to know how to find out, that angles in a four-sided shape add up to 360 degrees. So it's going to be 90 plus 40 plus 122. So if we add these up, that's going to be 2, 6 plus 9 is going to be 15. These three angles here, so that one is 90 degrees. When it looks like that, that's 90 degrees, which is where I got this one from. These three angles add up to 252. So if we add on this one here, that must make it add up to 360. So what do we need to add on to 252 to make up to 360? So we're going to do 360 take away 252. 0 take away 2 we can't do, so let's borrow 1 from that. 10 take away 2 is 8. 5 take away 5 is 0. 3 take away 2 is 1. So 108. So it's going to be 108 degrees. Next question. This is worth a phenomenal 5 marks. So if you got this one right, chances are it gave you an enormous boost in terms of your grade. So we need to know that angles on a straight line add up to 180. So we're going to get 1 mark for saying that this one makes it add up to 180. So what do we add on to 135 to get to 180? And the answer is 45 degrees. Now, as we've already said, angles in a triangle add up to 180. So 70 plus 45 is 115 degrees, which means that this one here must make it add up to 180. So what do we add on to 180 to get to 115? Let's do some subtraction. 10 take away 5 is 5, 7 take away 1 is 6. So this one here must be 65 degrees. Now we know, again, that angles on a straight line add up to 180. Now this one here we've already worked out is 65 degrees. So this one must make it add up to 180. So 180 take away 65. You may have got the clue from this one here. Make that 10. So 10 take away 5 is 5. 7 take away 6 is 1. 1 take away 0 is 1. So 115 degrees. So the answer is 115 degrees. Now, the key thing to know here, you must give reasons for your answer. Now what you do for that is you say, each time you write down an angle on your diagram, so I wrote down 3, I wrote down 45, 65, and 115. So what you need to do is say, this was 45 degrees because angles on a straight line add up to 180. Here, this is 65 because angles in a triangle add up to 180. This one here is 115. because angles on a straight line add up to 180. And all of that is going to be worth 5 marks. Again, a lot of people could get 115, but it's this thing here. You must give reasons for your answer. That's going to be the key to making sure that you get all the marks for this one. Next question. 7 to the power of 2. This means 7 times by 7. So that's 49. The square root sign here means something times by something is 25. So what times by itself makes 25? And the answer is 5. That's what square root means. Now, 2 to the power of 3, this doesn't mean 2 times 3. A lot of people say 2 times 3 gets 6. That is a big fat wrong. 2 cubed means 2 times by 2 times by 2. And you write it out 3 times. That's where the 3 comes in. So 2 times 2 is 4. Times by 2 is 8. So 2 cubed is 8. Next one. We've got to find the perimeter of the shaded shape. So what we do is we start off on one vertex and we count. So 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's going to be 10 centimeters. Find the area of the shape. Now the area is just the number of squares inside it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or we can do width times the length. So that's going to be 2 and 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. That's going to be 6 centimeters squared. And then what we've got to do is we've got to reflect the shaded shape in the mirror line. So reflecting is just counting. What we're going to do is we're going to do these 4 corners here. Now this one here is 1 away, so if we go 1 the other side, we get there. This one is 1, 2, 3 away, so 1, 2, 3 away, gives us there. This one is 1 away, so if we count 1, that's there. This one here is 1, 2, 3 away, so 1, 2, 3, it's going to be there. Job done. Next question. Now this one I thought was quite tricky. Now I think it's about a grade 4 question, this one. We've got to work out the perimeter of the shape. Now we know here that this is going to be 10 centimeters. That's going to be 4. That's 10. That's 4. That's 10. That's 4. That's 10. That's 4. However, we've got this here. This is going to be a tricky one to work out. We know the whole length of it is 10, but we're not counting this bit here. So that bit there is only 6. So when that happens, that's going to be 6 each time. So we've got to add up all those numbers. So if we have a look, we've got 10, 10, 10, 10, so that's going to be 40. We've got 6, 6, 6, 6, so that's going to be 4 lots of 6, which is 24. We've got 4, 4, 4, 4, so that's going to be 16. That's probably the quick way to add them all up. So 6 plus 4 is 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 8. So that's going to be 80. So the perimeter is going to be 80 centimeters. Well done if you got that one right. I thought that was quite a tricky question. Okay, write down all the factors of 18. Now, there's an easy way of doing the factors of a number. The factors are all the numbers that go into it. So I always start off with 18, underline it, and then I always start off with a number 1. 1 times something makes 18. That's going to be 18. Then we do the next number after 1, which is 2. 2 times something is 18, that's going to be 9. Then we've got 3. So 3 times something is 18, that's going to be 6. Then we try the next number after 3, which is 4. 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That doesn't go into 18, so we skip 4. 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. No, 5 doesn't go in there. 6 is the next number, but we've already got 6. So these here that we've got written down are all the factors. So the factors are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. And that way we don't miss any factors out. Next one, we've got to write down all the multiples of 7. So multiples of 7 are just in the 7 times table. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. So from our number here, we've got this one, and we've got this one. So 21 and 28. Now again, a real common exam question. All these are taken from GCSE exams, by the way. So, right, sorry, express 180 as the product of its prime factor. Now you just got to know that this is a Christmas tree thing. So 180, we've got to find two numbers that multiply together to make 180. And if they're a prime number, as in you can't break down that number anymore other than 1 times the number itself, you put a circle around it. So the first thing I'll do for this one is I'll probably do 2 times 90. Now 2 you can't break down other than 1 times 2, so I'm going to put a circle around it. 90 we can break down. I'm going to say that is 2 times 45. Now 2 we can't break down, so I'll put a circle around it. Now this one ends in a 5, so I'm going to say that's 5 times by, and 5 times what makes 45? That's going to be 9. 5 you can't break down, that's just 1 times 5, so I'm going to put a circle around 5. 9 you can break down into 3 times 3, but you can't break 3 down. Once you've done that, the Christmas tree thing, we then say 2 times 2 times 3, and we write them in order, times 3 times 5, and that is 180. What you can do is say 2 squared times 3 squared times by 5. That's writing it in index form. Either one of these is going to be correct. Alternatively, if you were sitting there thinking, okay, I did 10 times 18, you still get the same answer. Because if you break 10 down, it's going to be 5 times 2. Break 18 down, 3 times 6, and then 2 times 3. And what we've got circled there are 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Exactly the same thing. Next question here. We've got 5 to the power of 4. Let's make it a little bit bigger. 5 to the power of 4 times by 5 to the power of 6. Now what we do here is we add the powers. So that's going to be 5 to the power of 4 plus 6, which is going to be 10. So 5 to the power of 10 gives us the correct answer. Next one is 7 to the power of 5 divided by 7 to the power of 2. Now if we add the powers when we multiply, we're going to divide the powers when we, so we're going to take away the powers when we divide. So 7 to the power of 5 divided by 7 to the power of 2, we take away the powers and we get 7 to the power of 3. The next one, the next 4 terms of an arithmetic sequence. What's the next term in the sequence? You can see that it's going up in 4s each time. So if it's going up in 4s each time, the next one's going to be 21. Nice and easy. Now the next one isn't quite so easy, but it's worth 2 marks. So write down an expression in terms of n for the nth term. Now we said it's going up in 4s. Now whenever we are asked for this nth term, and you'll be asked pretty much in every exam between now and when you leave St Anselm's. So what we do is if we see what it's going up in, so it's going up in 4s, then we write the 4 times table above our sequence. And then because we've written down the 4 times table, we write down 4n. Now, what do we do to our 4 times table to get to our sequence? 4 plus 1 is 5, 8 plus 1 is 9, 12 plus 1 is 13, 16 plus 1 is 17, so we add 1. So the rule, the nth term is 4n plus 1. Okay, next is some pretty patterns. So draw pattern 4 in the space below. So let's have a look. So pattern 1 is that one. So this is pattern 1. Pattern 2, we put on 3 more dots. So boff, boff, boff. That's pattern 2. So pattern 2 is that one. And pattern 3, we do another 3 dots like that. So pattern 4, just do another one. And that's it. That's pattern 4. Now, again, this one is aimed to stretch people. So how many dots are needed for pattern 15? Just have a look at pattern 1. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 dots. Then we've got 10 dots for pattern 2. We've got 13 dots for pattern 3. So we can see it's going up in 3s each time. So what I would do is I would write down the nth term of 3n because it's going up in 3s. So if I wrote down the nth term, just bear with me a second. Okay, so it's going up in 3, so it's going to be 3n. So then what we do is if we know that it's 3n, we write the 3 times table above it. So 3, 6, 9. Now how do we get from our 3 times table to our numbers here? So 3 plus 4 is 7, 6 plus 4 is 10, 9 plus 4 is 13. So all we need to do is we need to plus 4 to it each time. Now this one, I forgot how to do this one. Right, so this question here, you need to have Rulon Compasses. So what I'm going to need to do is do it on this page here. That. So the first thing we do is if we're going to draw an equilateral triangle with sides of length 8 centimeters, we've got to draw a line which is 8 centimeters long. So now on my screen that's 8 centimeters. Probably isn't on yours at home, but you get the idea. So you measure this and write that down as 8 centimeters. Now what we do is we've got to then measure another. We've got open up our compasses, sorry, to 8 centimeters. And then what we do, once we've got our compasses at 8 centimeters, we draw an arc up here. So notice that we've got our point on the end of this line, and then we put the compass point on the other end of the line, and then we draw another arc. Now where these cross or intersect, that's going to be the top of our triangle. So we then join this point up here to both of the other sides, so other points, and there we go. We've then got our equilateral triangle, all of 8 centimeters. Now what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that you leave in your construction lines. Okay, so that's how you do it one. Next one, we've got to write down the coordinates of point A. So remember with this one, it's along the corridor and then up the stairs. So A is going to be 2, 1. Next one says write down the coordinates of B. So B, you go along the corridor, so that's going to be -2. Then up the stairs, it's going to be 3. That's going to be -2, 3. On this grid, mark with a cross the point -3, -1, and label it C. So -3, -1, you go along the corridor, so -1, -2, -3, and then down the stairs, so that's going to be there. So that's going to be point C. Now the next thing, on the grid, draw the line x equals 3. Now this is what most people get wrong all the time. So the line x equals 3. What this actually means is that all your x coordinates have got to be 3. So 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2.6. So if we, all these coordinates here, this is 3, -3, 3, -4, 3, 4, 3, 3. If you joined all those up, you would get a straight line that goes through the x-axis at 3. So the way to remember it is the line x equals 3 is a straight line going through the x-axis at 3. Okay, and our final question, we've got to draw the graph. So we've got to complete these values first of all. So the way we do this one here is we do 3 lots of 2 plus 4, because we're looking at 2. So 3 lots of 2 is 6 plus 4 is 10. Then we're going to do 3 lots of 1 plus 4. So 3 lots of 1 is 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 lots of 0 plus 4. 3 lots of 0 is 0 plus 4 is 4. 3 lots of -2 is -6 plus 4 is going to be -6 plus 4. So again, 0, -6 is down, then we're going to add 4, so that's going to be -2. Then once we've done that, is we plot the points. So we've got -2, -2. We've got -1, 1. We've got 0, 4. We've got 1, 7. We've got 2, 10. And we've got 3, 13. So let's do that. So I'll start off with the positive one so you don't make any mistakes. So 313 was the first one. Then we got 210. Then we got 17. Then we got 04. Then we've got -11 and -2. And as long as you haven't made any mistakes, they should line a straight line. Now, you then join them up, and that's it. If you've made a mistake and you've done, say, 1 minus 1 instead of -1, you notice that this doesn't line the line, so therefore you know you've made a mistake. Right, okay, boys and girls, what you now need to do is you need to make sure that you've done all of the exam corrections and then hand in your paper to your maths teacher. What I would also ask you to do, please, is to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I'm going to be making loads and loads of revision videos. Some for some for Key Stage 3, some for Key Stage 4, and some for Key Stage 5. There's also a Facebook page which is RescorlaMaths, which again will give you some extra support, and there will also be a load of parents videos on there. And also there is a Twitter which is at RescorlaMaths. Okay, thank you very much.